Hello, aviators, and welcome to yet another tutorial on how to solve the enigma that is RadioDJ. So this next video we'll be talking about playlists. So what you're going to do is not use your playlist builder because it's very not user friendly. So we're not going to use it. What we're instead going to do, and what you're going to do anyways on Aviator Radio, because we're not playing your music, we're playing everyone else's music, and so we're going to be using track rotations. This randomizes it, makes it just much easier to keep things fair, so that you aren't playing things that only you want to listen to, and it also keeps it to where nobody ever knows what's coming up next. So what we're going to do here, we already have a track rotation set in, and that's how we have our cue right here. And you can see here that there are multiple rules on here. So right now, this first one is drawing from the music, any genre, and at a random pace. And it's starting out with the sweeper that we've already set, and that's your sweeper right there. Then you have number 3, which are interviews, and we don't have any interviews in there right now, so it's not going to show up. So instead, for our fourth one, or in this case our third, we're going to have a voice track from me, yours truly, and I'm playing those at a random pace. During Christmas, though, I was playing the Christmas ones at high priority, so those would play more constantly due to the fact Christmas is coming up. So you can go in and change the settings on that. I think I've talked about that in the past. Then you have Chris, and then you have Mackenzie and Sam down here. And so what you're going to do to create a rule, you're going to use these menus here and say we want to play music. And so I don't have any truly accurate genres here, so I'm just going to select any, and let's play maybe something least times played, so that we get some coverage in there. And so we will put a sweeper on there because it'll be right after Sam's, and you'll hit the plus there. Now, one problem I see with this already is that I already have a sweeper on this next one, and since this is a rotation, you're going to go right down the list. So you're going to go start, without, start, and so when you end with a sweeper, you're also going to begin with a sweeper. So in that case, I'm going to delete that one. So maybe instead I'll do without and least recently played any genre music. Add that. Alright, there you go. Alright, and so maybe you like that rotation, and being that I created it, I definitely like it. So I'm going to save it. So you're going to save the rotation name, and I'm going to save it under test 1, just for simplicity purposes, and I'll save it. Now, you go into here, you can also replace the rotation. We have 4 different rotation. We use the default one right now. The main was actually test, and there's our test one right there. And so maybe those edits that I didn't like very much, so I'm going to replace the rotation with our default rotation and save it. So I'm going to scroll down, and there you go. It's gone. So that made it easier, and now things can work a little easier. Now, other than that, you can save playlists via your queue too. So if you like a specific format for a queue, say you cleared the queue and it's going to regenerate the queue because we're on the rotation, but say you really liked a lineup of songs, you could go in and save it. Its default will be time and date, so we could just go in and change it to our test 2 and save it, and then you can go in and retrieve it, test 2, and then open, and then If you have anything in the queue, then it'll automatically add it to the bottom. And so we started out, what was the name of that? It was that The Killers. So scroll down here, and eventually you'll see, yep, right there. And so that's how you do it. Those are two formats of playlist, and the first one I think is much easier to use. It kind of adds anonymity to it because there's obviously no bias towards any genre of music. So that one I highly suggest. This one's also very useful if you want to mess around with the playlist builder. By all means, do it. I personally don't like it. So, yep, there's two ways to do it, and thank you for listening.